Well, howdy there, guys. I wasn't even planning on releasing another video today. I just released a video, but something caught my attention that somebody left in the comments section that I was like, I've got to talk about this. Somebody that left that comment, thank you so much for leaving that. I never even saw Elon Musk make the statement he made earlier in the week that basically he believes Tesla stock is overvalued right now. This is so rare. This is so insanely rare, guys. I mean, almost every CEO out there, what do? They hype out their stock. They talk about their stock, why it's undervalued. That's almost every CEO out there. You almost never, ever get a CEO, the leader of the company, and he's one of the biggest shareholders, if not the biggest shareholder of Tesla, come out and say, our stock is overvalued right now. We got to look at these comments and kind of look into this a little bit, guys. So first off, a story published late last week about Tesla in The Guardian. Investors might zero in on one comment in particular that CEO Elon Musk made. He said the company's, this is quote, market cap is higher than we have any right to deserve, end quote. And the building of an automaker from scratch, quote, is the worst way to earn money, honestly, end quote. So that's a huge statement in itself there. And then we go on here and we see what an analyst has to say. Analysts say it's unusual, as I just mentioned, unusual for CEOs to talk about their stock price in that way, typically promoting its potential to go higher. Quote, in my experience in over 10 years covering stocks in clean energy, I've never heard another CEO say that, end quote, said Ben Carlo, an analyst at Robert W. Baird, who has an outperform rating on Tesla stock. It's not the first time Musk either has come out and done this. Twice in the second half of 2013, so about 4 years ago, following a big run-up in the stock, he said the value was higher than the company deserved. A year later, he made a similar quip saying, quote, our stock price is kind of high right now, to be totally honest. So we got to look at some numbers here and say how overvalued is Tesla? How ridiculous is the valuation on Tesla? And and you guys know on this channel, I talk about Tesla a lot and Amazon a lot, right? Two stocks, not two stocks I love, two companies I love. And I talk about how they're gonna, take over the future and all this. And I get comments sometimes that says, Jeremy, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and buy those stocks? And the truth be told is, just because I like a company, I believe in the company a lot in the future, doesn't mean I believe in the stock. Because there's a difference between a company that's going to dominate in the future and a company that has a ridiculous valuation. If something has a ridiculous valuation, I can love it to death, right? I mean, if I'm the hugest Michael Jordan fan, right? And there's an autographed Michael Jordan jersey, I'm like, that's the coolest thing ever. But at the same time, I would only pay a certain amount of money for that, right? I'm not gonna pay $8 billion for a Michael Jordan jersey. So you gotta draw your stake in the sand there somewhere that kind of differs from where you love a company. Like I love Amazon, I love Tesla, but their valuations are insane, which is why I don't invest in them. So even though they're not their profits, Amazon's profits are starting to come around, but Amazon's revenues, Tesla's revenues, doesn't mean I buy the stocks because I'm not, they're too overvalued. And let's look at some metrics here that kind of show you this, guys. Tesla stock here. This is a company with a $52 billion market cap right now. $52 billion market cap. And Ford, for instance, Ford has a market cap of $43 billion currently. So Tesla basically has about $9 billion valuation, more than Ford, one of the biggest automakers in the world. So let's look at some numbers here I broke down. Tesla currently has the $52 billion market cap, right? The average forward PE currently, which is a price to earnings ratio, currently in the market is around an 18. So Tesla would need a $2.88 billion net income next year to basically have an average PE ratio, forward PE. Now that's never going to happen in the market because basically what happens is higher growth companies, which Tesla is, it's a super high growth company, and the growth will even expand into 2017, 2018, something I just talked about the other day on a video. I talked about how Tesla's, revenues are going to explode. They're going to go even higher. So when you have a super high revenue number, the net income kind of doesn't matter to a certain extent. But this is just for example's sake here. They need to have a $2.88 billion net income next year to have basically a PE that would be similar to every other stock out there in the market. So Tesla last year lost $675 million. This past quarter alone, they lost over $330 million just in this past quarter. They're expected to lose large amounts of money this year and in 2018. 2019, there's some debate on maybe they can start eking out a profit, but a lot of people don't even have faith that they will make a profit in 2019, guys. So needless to say, I'm happy that Elon Musk comes out and says this, because it needs to be said, and I'm happy that it's one CEO that's willing to actually come out and say something like this. This is such a rare thing that ever happens out there, guys, when a CEO says our stock is overvalued. And that's exactly how I feel about Tesla and exactly how I feel about Amazon, which is why I don't buy those stocks, despite me loving those companies, and I've loved them for years. And I talk about them and how they're, Amazon's taking over the retail world and how Tesla's going to dominate the auto market. But you don't see me buying their stocks just because they have ridiculous valuations. And the valuation side says, no, Jeremy, stay away from the stocks, even though my heart says, you know what, those might do good in the future, and they might. You can look at Elon Musk's tweet in 2013 when he said the stock was overvalued, right? Look where the stock's gone since 2013. So it doesn't always mean just because he thinks it's overvalued, I think it's overvalued, it can still go higher, guys. It just depends on what the perception of other humans are out there, fund managers, hedge funds managers, what their perception of the value of in the future is. That's what decides stock price at the end of the day. It's all perception based. I might have a perception on that drone that's sitting over there. I might say that drone's worth $500. You watching, you might have no need for a drone. Your perception of that drone price, you might pay $10 for it. You might not even want to buy it at all. Someone else might see that drone, they need a drone right now, and I'll give you $5,000 for that drone. I'll give you anything, guys. So everything's perception based. So let me know what you guys think about Tesla's stock price. I'd love to know if you think it's overvalued or undervalued. Leave me a comment with your opinion on it. It doesn't have to be a long comment if you don't want to leave that, just overvalued, undervalued, or if you think it's fairly valued, maybe you think it's fairly valued right now. Love to hear from you guys. If you just came across this channel, you may want to subscribe. We talk personal finance in the channel. We talk entrepreneurship. I'm an actual business owner. I give away so many business tips. If somebody wants to pay me like a 8 million PE for my real estate company, I'm willing to sell it, guys. So I'm willing to sell it. And then we also talk the stock market more than anything. Thank you for watching and have a great day.